In this video, we're going to talk about how a hammer might be able to help you determine if your grip is strong enough, and a strong grip can help you control the club face. If you haven't done so yet, be sure to subscribe to our channel, and if you have any questions or comments, link them below. My name is Ken Martin. I'm PGA member and golf program instructor here at Keiser University College of Golf, and I wanted to show you a little tip about how you hold the golf club, because obviously how you hold the golf club is going to have a direct impact on your control of the club face. And club face has a direct control over where your golf ball goes. So I've got a little contraption here where we've actually put a club shaft and grip into the end of a hammer, and I just want to talk a little bit about the naturalness of using a hammer, because hammers have flat surfaces just like golf club faces. There's just no loft cut into hammers, and they're used for hitting nails, of course. But I'm just going to demonstrate how I would naturally hold this hammer if I was going to drive a nail down into this chair. I basically would hold it in a fist type position, and the reason I hold it this way is so that I can square the face continuously. And it doesn't really matter what direction I'm hammering. Even if the nail's in an awkward place, I'm going to still hold it this way because that's how I can square the face regularly to the nail. So with the right hand, it's kind of interesting. If I slide this up to the grip of the golf grip, I certainly don't hold a golf club like this. We would consider this a very strong grip. So I probably need to just mention the fact that the word strong is used to identify the amount of rotation that's in the hand when it's on the club. So if it's rotated up on top this way, we consider that to be weak. Someplace here is neutral, and then underneath is considered strong. So my hammer grip is definitely a very strong grip. But again, it helps me square the hammer's face. One thing that I did find out was that I could actually hold the hammer in my natural golf grip and also square the face. So even if I was hammering in this direction, it's because of the direction my wrist works in my right hand that allows me to hold it this way and still be very successful. Even if I had to go up at a funny angle, I wouldn't have to change that. Basically, the palm of the hand matches the direction of the face. My lead hand, or left hand, is a little bit different story. So if I was going to hammer, again, vertically with my left hand, I would hold it very similar, just with my other hand. And this is a little awkward, a little bit of a backhand strike if I was going to hammer a nail sideways. But this is where we really see a huge difference in my golf grip versus my hammer grip. Now the entire back of my left hand is up on top. This would be considered a very strong grip, meaning that it's hook biased. It actually helps the club face close. So the idea here is that if I would use a grip at this angle to square a club face with a hammer, any amount of that in my golf grip may actually help me square the club face through impact with a golf club. So my recommendation here is for you to see where your hands actually are on the grip. So I'm going to put my hands on in a relatively weak position and slide them up to this hammer. And you would see something different would have to happen in the wrists in order to make this club face stay square. I would have to do a tremendous amount of bowing in that lead wrist, which is very uncomfortable for me. It would probably be easier for me to just rotate this open so that I could create a full load of the wrist, but then I'd have to rotate it back to drive the nail straight. This doesn't make any sense at all. If I was hammering with both hands, I would hold it like this. And that way the face is always square to the arc. So if we take a tip from that, we could go, if you happen to have a weak grip, to something that's much stronger in the left. And by stronger, typically we actually look at the number of knuckles. From up above, I can see 1, 2. We would call that neutral or leaning towards weak. I could turn that over so I can see 1, 2, 3 knuckles, and then put my right hand on so that the palm actually faces the target. And what I could do with this is very comfortably square the face to the arc using this hammer without having that bowed left wrist. So if I apply that to a golf club, that would start to look like this. From up above, I can see those 3 knuckles. and I put my right hand onto the side. So now I'm holding it like I was holding that hammer. And again, I can keep that club face square to the arc while I'm creating this full hinge. So that tells me that it might be easier when I actually come over to hit a golf ball, and I won't hit a ball here, but I'll just show you a square club face relative to a target line. And now that I'm in golf posture, when I create this hinge, I can see that the club face is still square to the arc, which means that as I'm coming forward, that club face has a very good chance of returning back to the golf ball square to the target without me having to manipulate it. If I had a weaker grip, then my backswing load comfortably would roll that face more open, which means that now I would have to roll that club face back at impact to square it. Again, very complicated, and I think I'd bend a lot of nails. In other words, in golf, I'd hit a lot of crooked shots. So if you're having issues with an open club face, I recommend using a little bit more of a hammer grip, in particular in your lead hand, so that when you load that club, you can keep the club face square.